Hey, it's been a while. Today, we're going to restore this 1993 Power Ram 250. Kinda. So, a little bit of a backstory here on this truck before we get started. This is a 1993 Power Ram 250 pickup truck, and a friend of mine had brought it over. It had been sitting under a tree for about the last 6 years. It belonged to his great uncle who bought it in 93 when it was brand new. And then I believe he said his dad had it for a while, just didn't have the time to get it running or to clean it up. He had just gotten it running. He put a new fuel pump on it, and he's doing some other stuff to it. You could see the condition of the exterior, especially, is pretty rough from sitting outside under a tree. There's some moss and stuff growing on it. The bed of the truck was pretty rough. The interior here, the floors are pretty bad. The rest of it's really not that bad. On the interior, you can see the seats are in fairly decent shape. Just a little bit of that stuck on dust from sitting for so long is a lot of what you're going to see on the dash. But our main focus in this video is going to be that exterior of the vehicle and getting that to look pristine again. So we're starting here by foaming it down with what I use as my APC, which is Simple Green. Here I have it diluted about 1:1, which is pretty strong. And I'm foaming the whole thing down just to break up any of that dirt and moss and stuck on debris from sitting under that tree for so long. This is really going to loosen all that up before we even hit it with a pressure washer. So here is after we had finished washing all that, or I should say rinsing all that grime off, just from the APC and the pressure rinse. This is our results so far. You can see when we get close, a lot of that stuff is still embedded into the finish of the truck. Really doesn't look too bad on camera. Looked a little worse in person than it does on camera. Really not in too bad a shape, but that pressure wash and that APC foam down really helped us to break all that down. And of course, we got up in the back bed of the truck. We scrubbed that out with a long handle brush. We went ahead and threw the mat that was in the that was lining the bed of the truck there out. We're going to go ahead and pressure wash that as well. We start by pressure rinsing it, and then we're going to go in after we rinse it. We're going to go in with our APC. Same thing, Simple Green. I actually did start running pretty low on Simple Green during this detail, so you'll see here I'm actually just kind of dumping out the rest of the gallon jug that I have. Literally just dumping out my Simple Green onto that mat. Obviously this was pretty dirty too. Then you'll see here we're going to start going in with that same long handle brush that we did use to scrub the bed of the truck. This very same way we foamed it down, cleaned it the same way that we're cleaning this mat. We're going up and down, and then we're going to go crosshatch. We're going to go the other direction, just so that way we can be as efficient as possible with all the grime that we're going to get off from multiple angles of scrubbing here. Now we're going to go ahead and fast forward once again to the foam down with our actual solution, which I like to use PNS Pearl Auto Shampoo. I did throw in a drop of Simple Green, which is our degreaser slash APC that you saw us using just a bit ago. So my usual wash shampoo is going to be mixed in with a little drop of Simple Green just to kind of help us get any grime that might still be on there. Starting out, I'm using my synthetic clay scrubber. I love this clay scrubber. It's like a clay sponge type of deal. I find it very easy to use for claying vehicles anytime I'm going to go in and do any kind of polishing, which you'll see in a bit here we're going to do. I'm also using my detailing brush to get into the badges, and I'll get into the grill and things like that as we continue here. And after I finish with the decontamination, which is with this scrubbing sponge, I am going to end up foaming down the vehicle one more time, and I'm going to go over it with just a regular wash mitt to get anything else off. But we're going to do this for the entire vehicle. Obviously, you guys aren't going to see me do the entire vehicle. I'm not going to make you watch me scrub a truck for however long we were out there. I think the washing portion took at least 2 hours just to get the truck clean. Again, you can see here me using the detailing brush to get into all those nooks and crannies. Once we got that done, it was time to rinse off all of our solution. Again, this is after I went in with the regular wash mitt as well. Thoroughly washed every part of the vehicle all the way around, except for the wheels, which we're going to do here in a minute. But this is another little satisfying part of the wash, just rinsing all this dirt and grime off the side of the vehicle. So moving on to the wheels here, we're going to be using Adams Iron Remover. Iron removers, for those that don't know, is basically an acidic cleaner. It's highly acidic. People use it for, in the detailing industry, typically for wheels just like this, where there's a lot of caked on rust and grime from years of sitting. You can see it kind of breaking stuff down and turning purple there. It's a sign that it's working. We're going to go in with our drill brush. I don't typically use one of these cone-shaped drill brushes on wheels at all, but with these being super old, worn down wheels, we weren't too worried about it scratching it or anything like that. We weren't trying to be pretty with it. We're getting there, and we're getting into the nitty and gritty, right? We're getting there. We're trying to get off years and years and years of caked on brake dust and road grime and all kinds of other stuff. Re-wetting it as necessary with the iron remover. We're going to go in with our non-acid cleaner as well. We're going to repeat this process for all the wheels. So purpose of the non-acid cleaner is just to kind of give me a little bit more of a overall cleaning power as I go into the tires as well. And I'm going to leave the iron remover on there while I'm doing it, so it can keep breaking down all that stuff and doing its thing. Here as we rinse it off, and we're finally getting to see a little bit of our result, as the wheel actually has a little bit of a shine to it, which I'm sure it hasn't had in who knows how long. So again, very, very satisfying to watch. This was one of my favorite parts of the whole job, was cleaning those wheels up. Didn't expect them to come out as good as they did, and I have to say they did turn out pretty well for a 32-year-old truck, so I was pretty happy with it. Moving on here to our final product after wash. This is before polish, before protection, before dressings. Final product in terms of cleaning the vehicle. The vehicle is now 100% cleaned and prepped. You can see the hood is in pretty rough shape here. We're going to go in and we're going to try to compound that a little bit, machine compound that. But overall, I mean, cleaning wise, it turned out pretty nice after we really took our time and put a lot of effort into the prep work, as far as making sure we had a nice clean surface to work with, so that way we can polish up that hood, we can try to make this thing shine again, and we'll have a nice clean surface for our protection to bond to. See the bed of the truck here? Pretty surprised that under that mat there wasn't too much rust. There was just one little patch in the corner by the tailgate. That was pretty surprising to me. The bed of the truck was pretty clean. So on to our polishing. We're going to be using our 3M rubbing compound. That is number 1 of their Trizact system, which I'm a big fan of. We're using just a basic consumer level polisher, nothing crazy. We didn't break out any super, high tech for this. We're just trying to restore a little bit of that shine to the hood. You guys saw how rough it was before we began compounding it. We did actually try to just use a glaze, sort of a enhancer on it. That wasn't doing anything, so we had to switch it up. We had to go to a heavier cutting pad, and we had to go straight to compound because just the glaze and the light polish was not doing anything for the state of that hood. So that's why right here we're going over it with our compound, and we're going to keep going over. We're going to do it in about 2x2 foot sections. As you can see here, we're going to do the whole hood like this. Again, I'm not going to make you guys watch me do the whole hood, but just kind of showing you a little bit of the process here. And we're going to take our rag and we're just going to make sure everything is wiped off. And once it is, you can see definitely an improvement. Again, the hood is still in rough shape. Really, it would need to be wet sanded down, at least, probably refinished. You can see it looks like it's seen better days for sure, but that definitely did restore a good bit of that shine. It definitely made it pop. Now moving on to the back by the bed of the truck again, we're going to go ahead and clean up some of those side rails of the bed of the truck. I noticed there was a lot of, I guess, moss or algae or mold, whatever you want to call it. Some kind of grime really caked on here all the way around the rails. We went ahead and used that same 3M compound. A lot of elbow grease, guys. It took a lot of elbow grease to get all those rails clean of all those little black speckles. Moving on to the inside here, very tough to vacuum while holding a camera, so forgive me there. But you can see we're just going to start like we would start every detail, vacuuming up everything that we can. We're going to go at it with our carpet cleaner. We're going to spray down our carpets with our upholstery cleaner. I actually did end up using a little bit of simple green on the interior as well. A little bit of degreaser to cut some of that more built up grime. We'll go at it with our drill brush first to kind of initially loosen up that grime, and then we're going to go at it with a steamer as well. Typically I don't go this in depth. I pick one method or the other, but this thing needed it. So the reason for the steam is it's going to loosen, it's going to activate our chemicals, it's going to activate whatever chemistry is hiding in those carpets, and it's going to make it easier to suction up with our extractor. I only break the extractor out when absolutely necessary. You could see by the stuff that we're extracting up and the color of it, it was definitely necessary for these carpets. Alright, here is our result for the interior. Again, a 30-year-old truck that's probably never been cleaned. It doesn't look perfect, but we are seeing a drastic improvement in how clean those carpets are. We did go over the seats as well with the same method, even though it wasn't really necessary, and we did scrub our plastics and dress them with our 303 protectant as well. So this is our finished product on the interior. Moving back to the outside, I wanted to dress up these wheel linings with something we've actually reviewed on the channel. It's the Turtle Wax Ceramic Acrylic Trim Restorer, which I really like. I've used this stuff on my personal vehicle, and I thought it'd be a nice touch to kind of make these wheel arches pop. Now, really, these need to be replaced, right? You can see the fading, the discoloration, but we're just trying to get a little bit more pop. And you can see it did a pretty dang good job after 2 coats. We got a pretty good result with this trim restorer. Broke out our PNS bead maker for the paint protection portion of the detail. We're now applying our protection. This is not a super long-term protection, guys. For the sake of this specific detail, what I wanted was something that was going to make the paint pop. I love the way that bead maker makes the paint pop. It gives me short-term protection for now, and I can always have him come back and put some ceramic on there. For now, we just wanted something that would really give us a good pop. And he was very happy with the end result. I think you guys are going to be pretty happy with it here too. Alright, so I'm going to be 100% real with you. I did not have it in me after that detail to record an outro, so here I am a couple of days later. In my car, different clothes, obviously different hat, different day. It was about an 8-hour job, so I really just wanted to get home, shower, and eat some dinner. Did not have it in me to put together an outro, but I figured I'd give you guys one now as I'm kind of putting together the video and editing it for you guys. So I wanted to thank you for tuning in. As always, I know it's been a while. Took a little bit of a break from YouTube. Really trying to be a little bit more active on social media and on YouTube moving forward this year. So let me know in the comments what you guys would want to see, what type of content you want to see more of. If you like this kind of stuff, or if there's other ideas you guys have, I'm open to whatever suggestions. And I'm looking forward to putting some more stuff out there. I got a bunch of ideas rolling around in my head. Not too interested in the product review stuff that we used to do. I'm sure I'll still do some here and there, and if there's stuff you guys want to see, we'll check it out. But there's just so much of that on YouTube. I'd rather try to do more unique, more original content. So I'm looking forward to putting some fun stuff out there for you guys. So be sure to follow me on Instagram, follow the business on Instagram, so you can keep up with all my details. You can get all your satisfying before and afters there. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, share it with your friends. And like I said, I thank you guys so much for tuning in and for the support. Especially thank you for sticking around. We were not active for over a year, I think. Probably, maybe close to 2 years. Been a while since we were active on YouTube. So I thank you guys very, very much for those of you that stuck around. And I am going to try to do some sort of giveaway for 1,000 subscribers, because we're getting very close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. We're coming up on 900. So we got a little bit to go before we get there, but I'm thinking I might do, like some type of setup, like maybe you could claim an Amazon gift card, or if you're local, you could claim, a detailing coupon or something like that. I don't know. Let me know what ideas you guys would have for that as well. But that would be coming up here soon as we approach 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you very, very much for your support. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.